That was an interesting journey. Well, that was an interesting journey. Seeing Dawn, on seeing Darkrai, and even seeing a lot of Sinnoh. Wait a minute, weren't you supposed to be reviewing a movie? Oh yeah, Space Jam: A New Legacy. No, Peter Rabbit 2: The Runaway. No. Fine, I'll watch Tom and Jerry. No, didn't you already see that? Didn't you already review that movie? Zach, are you trying to get out of reviewing Chaos Walking? Fine, I'll review it. Hey guys, Zachary and the Rabbit Squad here. And for today's video, we're taking a look at the worst movie of the year, Chaos Walking. Now, this movie is based on a book series by Patrick Ness, which was released from 2008 to 2009. And this movie has had a troubled history. The film was Lionsgate originally bought the rights to the film in 2011. Bought the film rights in 2011. And the director, Doug Liman, didn't join till 2016. Which then the movie had a bunch of delays, where it was originally going to be released on March 1st, 2019. Then they got that release delayed to... Then the movie got its release delayed to January 22nd, to somewhere in 2020. Then to January 22nd, 2021. Then to finally be released on March 5th, 2019. Or March 5th, 2021. To a pretty bad reception. And pretty bad is kind of an understatement. The movie got terrible reviews from critics. Got a 22% on Rotten Tomatoes. And the movie did not make a lot of money at the box office, where the film only made $21.9 million on a $100 million budget. It did kind of better when it came out April 2nd on digital. When it came out on digital, all on April 2nd. But the movie was a big financial failure for the company, for Lionsgate. So, what do I think about this cinematic disaster? Well, let's take a look at this cinematic disaster. This is Chaos Walking. Chaos Walking is the story of Todd Hewitt, played by Spider-Man himself, Tom Holland. Todd lives on a planet which is dominated by men, and all the women are gone. And on this planet, there's something called the Voice, where people can hear other people's thoughts. So, but also during that, we get introduced to the other main character who's on the poster, Daisy Ridley's character Viola, who landed on the planet and all of her crewmates are dead, and pretty much died on the way down, leading her to be the sole survivor. She and Todd soon meet, because Todd is an idiot, she is found out because as Todd won't shut up about her. soon they end up killing. And this also gets the attention of Mad Mikkelsen and Nick Jonas's characters, who decide to try to get information about the girl. Well, from Todd's uncle, or from Todd's dad, and I think either his uncle or his other dad. I completely forgot. But either way, hey, the other one ends up dying by Mad Mikkelsen's character. Ends up dying. And the two of them end up escaping on some sort of. And both Todd and Viola end up escaping. This leads into a scene in the movie where Todd is suddenly attacked by this like Slender Man looking creature. And while the thing is literally trying to kill him, he tries to attack it, which leads into the monster running away, and Viola giving him a lecture for trying to attack something that was trying to kill him by saying, and I quote, "Do old men just kill the first thing they see?" No, movie, don't give me that bull crap. When later on in the movie, Todd decides to get some food, so he attacks this octopus thing, and Viola's completely fine with him attacking an octopus creature, who was trying to kill him once again, and she even eats the octopus with him. So this then leads into a chase down the river where in the process Todd's dog ends up getting drowned to death by this character who's, I think, is supposed to be like, by this character played by David Ogliolo, I think his name is. He's the guy from Peter Rabbit 2. So yeah, he ends up killing that dog by pretty much drowning it to death. Which leads into, and Todd and Viola end up escaping into this town that's inhabited by women. And Todd is kind of accepted there, I guess. As even though it's established earlier on in the movie that Mad Mikkelsen's character was the one who killed the men, but was the one who decided to get the people of the town to kill the women. And so yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they welcome him with open arms, but for what his town pretty much did to all the other women. But I guess as Todd is accepted into Todd is welcomed with open arms, and the two of them decide to and we get a scene where, but of course we need Matt Mickelson to come in, and with Todd's dad, who tries to talk Todd into handing Viola over her, but because Todd doesn't want to do that, the dad decides to do a trick where he decides to make an illusion that Viola was right next to him, but it turns out, but Matt Mickelson soon figures out a couple seconds later that it was not Viola, and the two of them, and Viola and Todd, end up running off. And Matt Mickelson ends up killing Todd's father, which of course leads into the movie's climax, where they finally get to the ship, but at the same time we have David Ogliolo's character, who I think is supposed to be like a preacher or something, and who's trying to kill Viola. And we also have Matt Mickelson, who is going after Todd. So the movie pretty much comes to a climax, and so pretty much Viola takes out David Ogliolo's character, her by some way I completely forgot, because this movie's so freaking forgettable. But at the end of the movie, they then decide the way that Matt Mickelson's character is defeated is by Todd using his voice thing to make an illusion of all the women that he ended up killing. Making an illusion of all the women that Matt Mickelson's character ended up killing, and who end up pretty much shaming him back to an edge, where he's pushed off the edge of the ship by Viola and pretty much dies. So and during this thing, it turned. But my question is, how does Todd have the? How could Todd make an illusion of people he doesn't know? I'm pretty sure they killed off the women. I'm pretty sure it's explained that they killed off the women in the beginning, in Todd's early life when he was little. Also, how does he know those people? It makes sense why the father could make an illusion of Viola earlier on in the movie, because he actually saw her. I'm pretty sure Todd didn't see the other women that Matt Mickelson killed. Anyways, so Matt Mickelson is dead, and then and it ends up Todd gets severely injured, so he wakes up on the futuristic spaceship. So Todd ends up waking up on the futuristic spaceship hip thingy, and the movie, and he is with Viola now, and the movie ends. The freaking end. So that was Chaos Walking, and my overall thoughts, why not I let the voice do it for me? This movie is absolute garbage, and I hate everything about it. Yep, that sounds about right. Chaos Walking is a terrible movie. Chaos Walking is a terrible movie. With a story that feels predictable, and you could pretty much predict every beat that happens in the movie. The characters are forgettable, and the ones that aren't really that forgettable, like Todd and Viola, end up just becoming your typical protagonists, and your typical old good-hearted protagonist in the movie. And the acting, the visual effects are absolutely awful in this movie. This movie cost $100 million to make. In comparison, you know what was a movie that also cost $100 million to make, that looked 90 times better than this film? Guess what other film cost $100 million to make and looked way better than this? Shazam! Yeah, this film is just... Also, the acting in this film is laughably bad. Most of the acting in the film is laughably bad. And, Nick Jonas is not a good actor. I'm sorry, he's kind of good at singing, but when it comes to acting, yeah, I think Nick Jonas should just stick to singing for now. My overall rating for... Once again, I'll say that I have not read the original stories yet. I have not read the original book yet. So... probably other fans of the book may... So probably fans of the book may have a different opinion on this movie than I do. Who, maybe fans of the book could get along with this movie a lot more than I did, but when your movie literally starts off with a line... I give Chaos Walking a 2 out of 10. I give Chaos Walking a 1 out of 10. Probably if you're a fan of the book, there's probably something in there that you could find good. But for me, if your movie literally starts off with the line, in quotes, all men are chaos walking. All men are just chaos walking. Then I don't see... I don't think... all men are chaos walking. Well, this movie was Well, I guess the title of this movie was right. Because this movie was definitely chaos walking.